Okay, we are back again. I knew this was going to happen. I knew my stream was going to get interrupted. I was going to wait. I was going to wait on like 1 o'clock or something, like a little later, to stream the query. I had a feeling Avengers was about to pull something. I should have checked my inbox, but we are here. We got some big Marvel's Avengers news. Looks like hashtag June Foster wins it, and shout out to Miller once again. The man did it. The man did it. So we got some big Avengers news to go over. We're still waiting for the blog. I could tell you what's in it, but I want to see if they're going to release the blog soon. If not, we'll break it down. But I do know what's going to be talked about, but we're waiting for the blog to officially go up. The Illuminati have already posted videos. Jane Foster is coming this June. Cloning Labs and MODOK are also coming after that. And we knew that Cloning Labs and MODOK were coming because Miller leaked that several weeks ago. He found that they were reworking Cloning Labs. They were working on a multiplayer MODOK. We are officially getting some actual content. Appreciate that re-up, Divine Shine. Appreciate that 6 months. The blog. So I don't know exactly what's going to be in the blog. I know from checking my inbox that Jane Foster has new heroics. There's a bunch of information. I don't know if it's going to be in the blog, so I'm waiting for them to show the blog. But if not, they're seem to be running late. The creators have posted it. The Illuminati have posted their videos already. We're still waiting for the actual blog, but I can tell you definitively Jane is going to have new moves. Appreciate you, Devon Sean. But Cloning Labs finally, after being weeks away for 2 years, Cloning Labs is finally coming. How long has it been? Literally 2 years, right? It was supposed to come out September 2020. Still waiting for the blog. Maybe they'll have it up by 2. Finally, Cloning Labs, indeed. Shout out Miller once again. Doing the Lord's work. Kind of spoiled the surprise there. Let me just get this Mighty Thor art real quick. This look like this is Cloning Labs. Yep, that is indeed Cloning Labs. It is in Utah. That is AIM Island. What up? Dev update from us. Yeah, the blog sounds like it's going to be lit. So we got this officially from J Shock Blast. My DMs are going crazy. But they gave permission to Illuminati to post at 1. But the blog is not ready yet. So I might just go over it now. So I believe J Shock Blast actually did a Q&A, so Let me see some real quick. See what Jay Showblast had to say. Oh, there it is. Jay said, watch the video or wait for the blog. All right, so he ain't trying to answer a bunch of questions, but I believe I can. What's up? What's up, everybody just coming in? What's the money bar for? What goal am I trying to reach? Oh, that's just for monthly support so I can stay a full-time creator. Any little bit helps. Direct donations help make me stay a full-time content creator. The man does have bills to pay. The man being me. You have 5 characters to 160, so you're close to 175 for everyone. Nice. All hell Miller, agreed. So Jane Foster and Cloning Labs, She-Hulk looks like we will be that. Now that's going to be interesting. Now that's why I'm waiting for the blog. What's going to be the release window for this? So we know, all right, so we know Jane is June, assuming there's no delays. So is Cloning Labs going to be July? We're still potentially on pace for August for She-Hulk, by the way. Now that we know Jane is coming out in June. So I'm still, as soon as I see the blog, I'll let you know what's going on. I'm going to give them until 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to start reading what I got in my DMs. There's the Illuminati have posted the videos, but a blog is supposed to be coming, so I'm going to wait for the actual blog. But Jane Foster is supposed to come in June, and Cloning Labs and MODOK are going to be the update that is coming after that. No specific release date was given, but June Foster is going to be a thing. Am I picking up my Love and Thunder tickets on Monday? I am not, most likely. Paying bills is not something we look forward to. It is actually the worst. What's up, Almighty Bruce? Yes, it's the 22nd. Now, I'll say, once again, we learned this with patch 2.3. We learned this with patch 2.4. When they give you the month, it's going to be the end of the month. Most likely. 2.3 and 2.4, pretty much the end of the month. So this could be very well last week of June, could be the 28th. But we don't have an official release date yet, but they said January. They said January Jane is not going to be a thing. They're going June Foster. So sometime in June, most likely at the end of the month. And then the update after Jane Foster is going to be Cloning Labs and MODOK. Yeah, they're going to the update at the month. It gives them more time to work on everything. Gives them, of course, more time to promote it as well. That's important as well. She-Hulk could still be August. So I'm looking at best case scenario, end of June, last week or two for June Foster. Cloning Labs, end of July, perhaps. Divine Shine, thank you so much for the 20. Starting off right, Durag Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank goodness it's not July Foster. I mean, if it was July Foster, it wouldn't be that bad because I was assuming it would be the first week of July so that they can line it up right with the movie. They should at least give us a trailer. So I'm guessing they're still going to do more promotion because right now we're just waiting for a blog. But who knows? Like it could be, I don't know how they're planning on doing this. So based on this announcement, She-Hulk is not coming with Cloning Labs and MODOK. They said Jane Foster is going to be June and Cloning Labs and MODOK are coming next. So that means She-Hulk and Cloning Labs are not together. Otherwise, they would also have revealed She-Hulk. So presumably this could mean June Foster, July Cloning Labs and MODOK, and then end of August for She-Hulk. So that could be it. So right now we're still waiting for the blog to actually go up. What's up, Treasure Valentine? We're waiting for the blog to go up. But officially we are waiting still for the actual blog to be posted so I can break down everything that they revealed about Jane Foster, because there is a lot of information that they gave out. I have that information in my DMs, but I'm waiting for the actual blog to go up to make sure. Can I make a DC movie tier list? That's something I could do for my members only stream. Sure, that could be a thing. Thoughts on Midnight Suns? The presentation, as usual, is very good. They actually released some exclusive gameplay. I don't know if you saw. They released to select content creators a full Venom boss fight, so we can kind of see exactly what the combat is going to look like. Game is definitely not going to be for everyone, but the card system itself didn't seem too bad, but it is very much a strategy game. So if you're not into the free-flowing combat of a third-person action, probably not going to be for you. But visually, it is very impressive. Winter Soldier for Christmas could be. Were you part of the meeting they did with the influencers for new update? No, Abram. I'm Marvel's Avengers does not have me as part of the official Illuminati, as we call it, where they invite select content creators to meetings. Obviously, I should be there because I'm the biggest Avenger streamer in the world, but they're still kind of butthurt that I've criticized the game, and that whole creator Discord is kind of unorganized. They have a bunch of people there that don't even play the game anymore, and they still haven't figured out exactly how they're going to fix it up. So there's a bunch of people that should be in there, like myself, like Doom, like Casual Avenger, who aren't in there, but we still have access to information. Miller is always a great source of information, but I was not personally on the call that they had. Avengers Day outfit, Miss Marvel. Yep, I copped that. Still waiting for the blog. I don't know why it's taking so long, but this actually, I think this happened last time. They when they it didn't take this long, but yeah, when they first revealed Jane Foster, there was a delay between when the content creators posted and when the blog went up, but the blog is supposed to go up. Everything was supposed to drop at 1 o'clock, and it's currently 1:54. You said the blog is going to crash. You heard it here first. That's a pretty safe assumption. Some people will believe anything you see on the internet, but Miller tweets it. That is. Oh, Miller. Shout out Miller once again. Cloning Labs apparently requiring 175 to play. Okay. Remember when I said in the blog we wanted to get 2-4? All right, so it looks like Cloning Labs is going to require you to be 175. So very good thing that we have this patch 2.4. The Thor glitch is busted. Yes, it is. Infinite Bifrost is very busted. What did I think of the Summer Game Fest? Definitely not as hype as I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect anything too crazy, but definitely a bit underwhelming. Not gonna lie. Hopefully, I'm hoping we get some more game announcements in the next couple of weeks that are more interesting. But the show itself was not what I expected, even with my lower expectations. It was great seeing The Rock. Other than that, you know, Midnight Suns had a cool looking presentation, but wasn't really anything there for me. Yeah, we're gonna stream the Xbox one so I can laugh at all you Xbox players. The main thing I was looking for that I knew was coming was Gotham Knights, and all Gotham Knights showed was a short cinematic trailer of Nightwing and a couple new costumes. So that was pretty underwhelming. The Ninja Shredder's Revenge looks fun, I guess, but not really what I was looking for. I don't care about Modern Warfare. I meme Street Fighter 6 because of, you know, Chun-Li being so thick, but I'm not really a Street Fighter guy anymore. So there wasn't really anything there that I was looking forward to personally. So that's why I'm waiting to see what else we have coming in the next few weeks. It was good to see Outriders, that we're still getting closer to Outriders World Slayer expansion. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be the end of the month. The Black Adam trailer was the highlight for me. That's the thing. The Rock was the highlight, was a good highlight, but we already saw the Black Adam trailer. They revealed that. They revealed that before. Like, it would have been one thing if they premiered the Black Adam trailer at Summer Game Fest, but they premiered it before Summer Game Fest. So it was like, oh, The Rock is here to promote an energy drink and show off a trailer that we already saw. So it was like, cool. And there were like 30 different space horror games. So it was like, that was crazy. Can be thick too, definitely. Smells like big news there. That's because it is. We got some big news. We got a big info dump coming about Jane Foster and her DLC that's coming this month. We got confirmation that Miller and his leaks were 100% spot on. Cloning Labs and MODOK are coming next after Jane Foster. Last year was all zombie games, now it's space horror. They even threw a zombie game in there, I think. And we also got a Goat Simulator. You're into that. Had mixed feelings about the Resident Evil 4 remake. The VR is cool, but I wanted to learn more about the hardware, but it looks good. We're going to have, when the PlayStation VR 2 drops, you're going to have some Resident Evil and Horizon content. More way to farm XP. The best XP method that I know is still up from the depths. The same one we've been farming for the last year. Kill the Adaptoid, reload the checkpoint, pop an XP booster, kill the Adaptoid, reload checkpoint, rinse and repeat. If you're up from the depths isn't showing up, you're screwed, my friend. Did you Did you accidentally complete it? Or did you just not finish the campaign? I assume you finished the campaign and everything. And the iconic mission chains by now. If you finish the mission, then it's gone. That's the one thing. If you do that iconic mission chain, you complete by accident, yeah, it's gone, bro. Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, you can't complete that mission. It's gone. If you complete that mission, it disappears from the map. If you want to, that's the best XP farm. You can wait for. I mean, you can wait for a double XP or triple XP weekend to give you an extra boost. You can. There are other XP farms. I believe. I mean, they take a bit longer to set up. I know you can do the last floor of the Elite Hive, where you have to fight all the cryo adaptoids. If you leave one of them alive, if you kill all of them except one, reload the checkpoint, and then go back in, that can be an XP farm. I think there's this. I think the XP farm with Kate Bishop's mission, where you fight the Dreadbot, and there's a bunch of enemies there. I think that's still there. But yeah, if you don't have Up from the Depths, you're down kind of bad. But you'll get there in time. Just pop those XP boosters and keep going. What cosmetic suits are day one for you at the moment? None really. It depends on what you like, what characters you're into. It's not going to be the same for me as it is for you. You know, if I'm the characters I play, mainly like Hawkeye for Hawkeye. You know, the Ronin suit is a must cop for me. I play Black Widow decently, so I gotta get the Red Room, the Black Widow movie with the ponytail. Let's see if the blog is up yet. Wow, they're taking forever with this blog. It doesn't looks like that blog is going to be super late. Well, the blog is already super late already. The longer it takes the official blog to drop, the more it stresses you out. Yeah, Jay Shotglass is freaking out a little bit. Yeah, this is even worse. They're super delayed. So they are supposed to be dropping a blog today with Jane Foster. If you're just coming in, they're supposed to be dropping a blog today. It's going to be giving us a bunch of details about Jane Foster and what's coming next. Cloning Labs is going to be coming. It's going to be after Jane Foster's update. It's going to have MODOK, multiplayer MODOK. Cloning Labs is going to be 175. You're going to have to be 175 on your character if you want to play Cloning Labs. Jane Foster, I'll just tell you this right now because they're just so ridiculously late. Jane Foster, like we suspected, is not going to be Operation. It's going to be a hero event like Spider-Man, except there's not going to be cinematics. And it's not going to be a massive mission chain in order to unlock her cosmetics. And she is going to have unique heroics and abilities from Thor. Significantly so. What's up, Uncle Casual? So once again, Jane is going to be a hero event. We're just waiting for the official blog. If you forgot about Cloning Labs or you weren't here for it, Cloning Labs was supposed to be the first Omega level threat. It takes place in Utah. As originally constructed, it was essentially a bigger Omega level threat, like an actual constructed Omega level threat. What we know of as the Super Adaptoid was basically just Kate Bishop's final mission turned into a Tachyon Rift. All they did was buff up the final boss fight. This one was actually constructed more like a dungeon than a raid in particular. So there was going to be a couple puzzles. It was going to be, a lot of enemies. And then when you get to the final level, depending on how well you did, you would either fight Abomination or you would fight multiple Abominations, depending on how well you performed. So they've revamped it. We don't know exactly all the changes they're making, except for the fact that it looks like MODOK is going to be the final boss instead of Abomination. I don't know the extent that they're changing cloning labs, but I know so far, cloning labs, you're going to have to be 175, and MODOK looks like it's going to be the final boss instead of Abomination, which was the original design of cloning labs way back in September of 2020. But we're still waiting for the blog. As far as Captain America flying, if you're talking about the traversal bug, Brian said that they have identified a fix for that traversal bug. So for your Captain America that's flying. So if everything goes according to plan, that fix for the traversal bug will be included in patch 2.5. Hello, Natalie. What's up? What's up? Just happy we're getting a new hero. Same. Jane was never getting a campaign, just filling the gap that She-Hulk would have been. Exactly. Who are my mains? Thor, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Hawk, Kamala, Black Widow. Hope the cloning lab gear is good. I do. So that's funny. Funny you mention that. There's cloning lab gear floating around in the game. I still have cloning lab gear in my locker. They had some original from when the game launched. They had some cloning lab specific gear that you can get. It was completely terrible, and this was before Alex was working on gear. So hopefully part of that revamp is Alex putting his stamp on cloning labs with some good gear. What's the current path to solo 175 from 2.4? Patch 2.4, if you want to increase your power level now and you don't want to play the Omega level threat or the raid, you play the events. The events refresh every 2 weeks. Play the events, do the mission chains, and you will get what's called superior exotics, which will drop higher than power level 140. What's up, Drew? How you doing? Which Avenger do you least like playing as? Probably it's probably a tie between. I like playing with all of them. I say the characters I play with the least are Black Panther and Kate Bishop. I don't know any story details. I just know I just know some stuff about her combat and what kind of DLC it's going to be. Can you upgrade gear still? Yes, you can still upgrade gear. All they did was change how you upgrade gear. They changed that with the update on November 30th. You think if you reset the campaign, it will show back up? No. What you do when you reset the campaigns, that's just basically a new game plus. It doesn't affect what you do in the Avengers initiative. It doesn't affect anything in the initiative. All it does is essentially changes the title screen, how the heroes appear. If you accidentally did it, you're screwed, my friend. Holy, Violator coming through with the 20. Thank you so much. That direct donation. Shout out to you, my friend. Thank you so much. Heard the block was out. Can't find it. Thank you so much again for helping support the channel. I'm still refreshing. We'll see if Avengers. Nope. Still waiting. So what happened was this is so awkward for the content creators. So what happened was they had a call. The Avengers Illuminati had a call with Brian Wagner. He's the system designer, and he basically told them today at 1 o'clock we're going to drop a blog breaking down what's coming next. So Jane Foster, we're going to give you some details about Jane Foster, and we're also going to have cloning labs in MODOK. That's going to be after Jane Foster. We're going to put all that in the blog. Here's the info. You can make a video about it, drop it, talk about it at 1, and then we're going to have a blog. So they dropped their videos talking about the blog that's coming today, and you know what to expect. And there's still no blog, so we're actually waiting for the blog so everyone, you know, can confirm. It's kind of awkward because, you know, they didn't even include a picture of Jane Foster, so they're kind of hung out on a limb here. Telling them we need Starship Hawk. Will do. That's skins are a high priority over there. Obi Bomb, what it do, my friend? They finessed the Illuminati for the they have the details. The details are 100% real. They just don't have the blog. I'm trying not to tell you too much of what I know, because I don't know if everything that I know is going to be in the blog. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble potentially. And I didn't watch the videos yet. So matter of fact, let me while we're waiting for the blog, I'm gonna listen to J Shock Blast's video. Or Laajune's video. I'm listening to Laajune's video to see what he's allowed to say. The Illuminati will see you now. I'm not invited. Thank you for that $6.99 Canadian. I appreciate you. I'm not even going to bother to pronounce that. I don't want to butcher that. But thank you so much. I love you. 3,000, as my boy Mammoth would say. Sounds like Dr. Strange has to stop one for the critic. True. Very true. So we still don't have a release date officially, but Jane is coming in June. We're not getting a July Foster. We're getting a June Foster. She will have a challenge card, a hero chain, and there are going to be some intel, files. Basically, going to be a hero event. So they're not going to give you this. Apparently, there's not going to be any cinematics, but they're going to explain the story with intel files. So you'll have to look at the intel files to get the story of, you know, how she got there, how she got the hammer, all that good stuff. Also, you don't have to farm for the mission for the iconic costume like you did for Spider-Man. Remember with Spider-Man, it took you like a 18-step mission chain to get the iconic outfit for Spider-Man, that's going to change. So she's going to have new takedowns, new intrinsic, new overcharge, new heroics, new range attacks. Barring unforeseen circumstances. Snitch ridiculous. So it looks like Miller going crazy. Miller going crazy with these leaks. Because his leaks have the last few weeks have been on point. So recently Miller leaked that cloning labs and MODOK were being worked on. He said that looks like a rework cloning labs was going to feature MODOK. That turned out to be true. They confirmed it here. We're going to receive it in the blog. He also leaked a hammer that looks like Jane's going to have. I covered that earlier this week. The Unjarn from the comic books, and in the comic books, Unjarn, because Jane has more control over it, it can turn. It was made from the pieces of Mjolnir, and it could turn into different weapons. So apparently, the Unjarn is going to be Jane's ultimate, and it's going to do something with the hammer. Some interesting stuff with the hammer. Yeah, Millie, so correct. Shock. I know it's ridiculous. He's such a good guesser, right? How does he guess so well? So let me show y'all. If you miss what Miller was doing. Here it is. This is what the hammer looks like. That's Jane's hammer. That's the Unjarn. It can morph into, in the comics, it can morph into different weapons, and it sounds like that's what her ultimate is going to do. What's up, High Def? Well, appreciate you. You made a new account. You gotta do all that. Might be more vital to wait for Miller's new leaks instead of law. True. Unjarn is her ultimate. Yep. I think this is what the hammer is going to... I think this might be what the hammer looks like, but it is definitely going to be her ultimate. Because Jane has different range power attacks. It's a basic overview. Just a basic overview. So basic overview. We're still waiting for the actual blog. So, but I'm pretty sure I can go into some more details based on what the Illuminati was able to talk about. Let me see something real quick. Let me look at it real quick. So they did not give the name of the stuff. I think it might be in the blog. Let's see. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna wait for the blog, but I'm just going to give you the general overview until the blog is up. Let me hold on, let me check. Said the blog is up. I don't see it. Let's go to the Avengers real quick. Blog is not up. Check the official Discord. Blog is not up yet. But you're looking at it. I'm looking at their official page. The blog's not there. Or they have, if they posted it, I haven't seen it yet. Let me see. All right. Looks like Brian just posted it 29 seconds ago. Let's go. All right, there's Cloning Labs. All right, here we go. Here's the official blog. Let's format this a bit. Okay, so as we already announced, Jane Foster is coming this month. Cloning Labs and MODOK are coming. Here is the official blog. Hi, Marvel's Avengers Faithful. Update 2.4 is now live and in your hands, and we're excited to reveal news about Update 2.5 and beyond. In addition to more details about the mighty Thor, we're also announcing the next step in our long-term plan to continue to expand the story and playable content of Marvel's Avengers, a new war zone and Omega level threat that will be coming next after Update 2.5. We previously talked about our hope that the gap between 2.4 and 2.5 would be shorter than previous updates, and we're thrilled to say we're on track to deliver. We expect the Goddess of Thunder to join your Avengers roster in just a few weeks in late June. So late June, just like we speculated earlier, is when you should be looking out for it. The mighty Thor, aka Jane Foster, will come with her own hero challenge card and a new heroic mission chain that rewards cosmetics and intelligence files that tell the story of how this version of Jane Foster found her way to our universe. So basically, just like the Spider-Man hero event, that's pretty much exactly what you should expect, more or less, except you won't have to grind super long to get that iconic costume. It'll just be there for you. She's a fully voiced hero with a suite of new abilities and gear who brings a new actor to our expanding cast. She will have her own collection of new cosmetics, including emotes, takedowns, and nameplates, as well as Jane-specific remixes of existing Thor takedowns and emotes. In our previous update, we revealed that as Thor, some of Jane's abilities will naturally echo the Odinsons. However, Jane is her own kind of Thor, and several design changes set her apart. The biggest difference starts with a new intrinsic, All Mother's Blessing, and a new overcharge ability called God Tempest. Her ultimate ability, the All Weapon, is also brand new, as we draw inspiration from her comic runs as Thor and Valkyrie, and allow you to smite foes with Underjarn as well as Mjolnir. So Miller has leaked that previously. We got to see what the Underjarn looks like. So it looks like she's going to be wielding both based on the wording of this, but Underjarn is going to be her ultimate. So it sounds like it's going to be like how when you're Black Widow, you have your guns, and then when you go into your ultimate, the Power Surge, you get a different weapon, in Black Widow's case, the staff, and new abilities to go along with that. So that's pretty neat. Some of Jane's baseline abilities are also new, including her new range combo and a new range power attack. On top of that, Jane will perform some of the familiar abilities she shares with Odinson with her own signature flair. We'll be going in a lot more detail and cover all of Jane's abilities and gameplay in the coming weeks with a story video, gameplay trailer, dev blogs, and live streams that dig into the details ahead of her launch. Now, what's after update 2.5? We've said in the past that we expect 2.5 to be the first in an ongoing series of hero and villain focused content updates, and we're excited to share a first look at what's on the deck beyond update 2.5, which is Cloning Labs. We'll be adding to the game's story with 2 new challenges as part of an ambition to advance our narrative through hero and villain-centric content. The first is a villain-focused war zone that will reveal MODOK's fate after the defeat of his Kree Sentinel. That will lead our heroes to AIM's Cloning Lab, a new Omega-level threat where your high-level strike team will challenge and defeat a revitalized MODOK in a new multiplayer villain fight. Cloning Labs will be a new in-game content that rewards conquering heroes with high power level gear from brand new exotic gear sets. So confirmation, we're getting a new exotic set with that Cloning Labs. Hopefully the boy Alex did his thing once again. I have faith in him. It's been a long time since the Cloning Lab was first announced. Since its original conception, our design philosophy for the game has evolved to be more villain forward, and we decided that the design for the mission no longer met our standards. We think the changes we're making, especially the new boss fight, will make for a much more satisfying and meaningful Omega level threat experience. We hope you're enjoying the revamped event rewards from update 2.4, and you're just as excited as we are to see Mighty Thor join the Avengers later this month. We can't wait to share more about the upcoming Warzone and OLT in our next development update. Nice. All right, so to summarize, very good. Pretty much what we got from the videos, and we just got a little more details about the abilities. So for Jane Foster update 2.5, you're basically going to be getting a hero event, just like with Spider-Man. You're going to get Jane Foster. She's going to have a challenge card. She's going to have a mission chain that unlocks additional cosmetics and intel files, which is how they're going to tell the story. There's going to be, doesn't sound like there's going to be any cutscenes or anything like that, and it's not going to be an operation. Basically, it's going to be Jane Foster cosmetics. As for Jane Foster herself, she has some new moves. She's going to have new takedowns, new ranged attack, new ranged power attack, some new heroics, including an ultimate, Underjarn, which Miller leaked previously. It is the hammer that is the weapon that she had from the comics. It draws inspiration from her Valkyrie incarnation of the character, and it sounds like it's going to potentially morph into different weapons, so I'm very excited to see what that looks like. Jane Foster will not share gear with Thor, and it sounds like she's going to kind of be like how Kate Bishop and Hawkeye were in terms of how different they play based on everything they're describing. So far, people were worried that they would be an Echo character, but it sounds like, which we assume, most of us assumed, that it's going to be more like the difference between Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, just a little bit more, maybe just a slightly bit more similar, rather than straight up Echo character. So new animations, new takedowns, new emotes, new heroics, new intrinsic, new overcharge, new range attacks. So excited to see what that is. The release date was not given, but they said look out for her in late June. So when late June rolls around, I say last couple weeks, look out for that. And they said leading up to Jane Foster, expect that there's going to be some different blog posts, live streams, and they're also going to do a story video breaking down more of the character. That was probably when we'll start getting a better look, see some gameplay of her in action. So look out for that. After Jane Foster is going to be Cloning Labs. Finally, they reworked Cloning Labs so that MODOK is going to be the final boss instead of Abomination, which is how Cloning Labs was originally going to be. Cloning Labs is going to be an Omega level threat and is going to be very revamped from the original design. The original Cloning Labs actually leaked early. Some people somehow got access to it. So apparently it's going to be very different. MODOK is going to be the final boss that you fight. He's been revamped. And now that we know Alex is on board, we should expect playtesting for MODOK to be a lot better. There's going to be a new gear set. And it's going to reward you with some new exotics. So looking out to see what those are going to be. That should be exciting. And the power level I'm told is going to be 175. So in order to even attempt to do Cloning Labs, you're going to have to be 175, which is not a bad thing because thanks to update 2.4, it is now very easy to level up your characters to 175. You can do it solo. You don't have to play with anyone else outside of that first event, the Attack and Anomaly. All these events are going to be solo, so you're going to be able to get some really good gear, and you're going to be able to increase your character all the way up to 175 without playing multiplayer at all. It's going to be pretty straightforward. So once Cloning Lab finally rolls around, you should have at least one 175 character that you can take into it, and we're definitely going to be running through that when it's available. I'm excited to see if it's any good. I can't wait. It's going to be it's going to be fun. I actually am looking forward to finally getting to play Clone Lab, especially now that they're so much, better than the original team. Alex is really good with the gear, so I'm expecting the gear is going to be good. And they're doing playtesting now that Alex is in charge, so we know that we're assuming MODOK is going to be more properly balanced. And they're listening about the difficulty because you're not even able to be attempting Cloning Labs if you're not 175. So that should be really good. Glad to hear that Jane Foster is going to be so different from Thor. I wasn't sure exactly how they were going to do it, but it is going to be kind of like Kate Bishop and a Hawkeye. So if you're ready for that Cloning Labs, you want to get to 175, they made it very easy for you. Log into the game when there's an event going on, check your objectives tab. There will most likely be an event going on. It will tell you exactly what you need to do in order to get everything. Right now, the current event going on is the Ruskaya Protocols. It rewards you with the Apex set, which is the same gear that you get from the priority missions. Very simple. Check the objectives tab. They tell you exactly what you need to do. They have individual mission chains for each character, and there's going to be a big mission chain for all the other characters. So all your characters are going to walk away with superior exotics, which is the exotics that reward you with gear that takes you beyond power level 140. Keep doing these events every 2 weeks when they roll around, and you'll be able to get to 175 in no time. Extremely easy. And you can do it again 100% solo. You don't need to play online with anybody else. Now that the Tachyon Anomaly event is out of the way, the rest of the events, 100% solo. It's pointless buying Jane for an extra amount of money just for an appearance with no new mission and or new ones. So obviously Jane is going to be free, and heroes and DLCs are going to be free for the foreseeable future. The idea of paying for DLCs has been shot down already by Brian, but obviously you never know what's going to happen. But it has been floated as a suggestion to the team as something they could do if the game ever went free to play. But the game right now is not free to play. I think it's still free on Game Pass, but the game is still paid for everyone else. And until any of that changes, it's still going to be free for everything. Now, I've said a million times already that I thought when the game launched, it should have launched free to play, and they should have charged for new heroes. But they committed to free DLCs, free heroes, but a paid game. So that's where we're at. Maybe they'll change that in the future if they go free to play. But for now, everything's free except for the cosmetics. But from a business standpoint, it would have been better to charge for heroes. Someone in the comments willing to pay for Jane. I mean, it's fine. I'm sure Crystal Dynamics loves that enthusiasm. Instead, take the money that you're going to spend on Jane Foster, the character, and spend it on her cosmetics. Go crazy. For the current event, what stats effect should you be looking for Thor? This event is rewarding you with the Apex exotic set. There's nothing relevant in that set related to status damage. You're just looking for potentially interesting perks. If you're building Thor for beginners, I have a build video that gets you started on my channel. But generally, when you're looking for if you're a ranged Thor, you want a ranged piece of gear that has a positive status effect on it, like cosmic or vibranium or plasma, because Thor naturally does shock damage and shock is negative. So combine negative with positive, you get the battery effect, which gives you a lot more damage. Same if you're doing melee, you want a melee with his signature attack on that melee piece. You want a positive status effect on it because you can do the battery effect when you combine it with his Odin Force. So that is what you're generally looking for when it comes to status effects with Thor. Once again, if you're new to patch 2.4, it's pretty straightforward. Look at the objectives tab, do exactly what they tell you. As soon as you're done, it will reward you with superior exotics, which you can either keep if you like it and just equip that and it'll increase your power level. Or if you don't like the piece or you already have the piece, you can instead use that newest superior exotic to upgrade a piece that you already have. You pay money for something like Doctor Strange. Yeah. Like I've said before, I won't mind paying for DLCs. I thought that's how they should have done it in the first place, but obviously you can't justify charging for DLCs at this point unless the game undergoes a makeover and goes free to play and makes some changes. And I'm quite sure that people would pay money for new heroes, but in that scenario they'd be banking on getting an influx of players. If they were going to do something like that, I would assume they would wait until they had something like to draw in people. Like they would say, okay, we're going free to play. Doctor Strange is the next hero, and we're going to charge for it. That would be the perfect time to do that. If they're going to go that route, go free to play. Go free to play. I'd even do it like this. I'd go free to play for Captain Marvel. Make that free potentially, or I go free to, potentially even earlier if they're ready for even earlier. Maybe go free to play for Winter Soldier, but still make that free, and then but announce that Captain Marvel expansion is going to cost money ahead of time, or just wait until the hero after Captain Marvel. But I would definitely say, if you're going to go free to play and start charging for heroes, it's got to be a hero that people want off rip. Like it's got to be Strange, it's got to be Wanda, it's got to be something. Got to be something crazy. Otherwise, people are going to be looking at you crazy. There's still going to be people complaining, of course. But if the game is in a much better state, during that time, I think it'll go over really well. So it's going to depend on how this content shapes out. If they keep doing a good job, I think they're going to build up a lot of goodwill, and that'll justify it. What's up, Oscar? How you doing? You missed all of the stuff. Exciting day for Avengers. I was expecting to have to wait until next week, but we got blessed a little early. They didn't do it yesterday because Summer Game Fest was going down, but they gave it to us today. So Jane Foster is coming late June. After Jane Foster is going to be Cloning Labs, and Cloning Labs will have MODOK as the final villain. Cloning Labs has been reworked. MODOK's boss fight for that fight has been reworked. It is an OLT. It will have an exclusive gear set for that Cloning Labs OLT. You will have to be 175 if you're going to do the Cloning Labs. So start grinding now. Jane Foster is going to be a hero event like Spider-Man. She will come with a mission chain that will reward you with cosmetics and intel files, but you will not have to grind super long for her iconic mission, for her iconic cosmetic like you had to do for Spider-Man. You're just going to be unlocking some additional cosmetic stuff and intel files, which will tell the story of how she got into the game, how she got the hammer, all that good stuff. She will have a challenge card, of course, and she will have all new moves. She'll share some similar stuff with Thor, but she's getting a new range attack, new range power attack. She's getting a new intrinsic. She's getting a new overcharge. She's getting a new ultimate. It's going to be really interesting. She's getting new takedowns. So she sounds like she's going to be really interesting. I'm curious to see how we're going to run with Jane. She sounds like just listening. It sounds like well, we got to see what the range attacks are going to look like. It could end up being, similar with Thor. You build her for Valor and range and just go crazy. That sounds like it's going to be the wave, but we'll see. She'll just have different moves, but she sounds good. But that's all. This update was purely for Jane Foster and what comes after. So it sounds like, based on potentially, we don't know the timeline, but potentially late June for Jane, late July for Cloning Labs, late August for She-Hulk. But the reason they didn't reveal She-Hulk is because she is not the update after Jane Foster. That's going to be Cloning Labs. So I'm guessing after Jane Foster and that drops, and then when we get Cloning Labs, they'll announce what's after Cloning Labs. That seems to be how they're doing it. They're doing a couple updates at a time. So patch 2.5 is going to be Jane. I'm guessing then patch 2.6 is going to be Cloning Labs, which would make She-Hulk patch 2.7. So look out for that. But we're still potentially on pace for August She-Hulk still, because June Foster. So if we get Cloning Labs, it's going to depend on how long it takes to get Cloning Labs out. But according to Miller, who's not been wrong so far, pretty much, he predicted, he successfully leaked Jane's hammer, which we found out the Underjarn is going to be her ultimate from the blog. He leaked that successfully, and he successfully leaked that MODOK is going to be the final boss in a revamped version of Cloning Labs. So stay tuned for Miller, because he's got all the answers. But according to him, She-Hulk has been basically done for a while. They've just been waiting for the right time to drop her. So I'm guessing around August, start looking out for She-Hulk still. That's about where you're gonna be expecting. But if they have to push Cloning Labs maybe to August itself, then perhaps September for She-Hulk. But I'm going to say that I'm going to predict August for She-Hulk right now still. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that prediction there. I think August for She-Hulk, and we're going to get Cloning Labs in late July. Optimistically speaking, obviously stuff could go wrong, stuff could get delayed, but they said everything is on track. So we'll have to see, but it could very much be August for Cloning Labs. Could be August for Cloning Labs and She-Hulk. We'll have to see. But stuff could get delayed. But so far, everything seems to be on track. So look out for Jane Foster late June. And in the meantime, they're going to have a story video showing her off. And they're going to have blogs and live streams going over it. Now, they said they were going to have all that stuff for 2-4. They didn't. But I'm guessing because it's a new hero, they're definitely going to hold true and do the live streams, or at the very least some more blogs. But I don't know who's going to run the live streams, if they are going to do one. I know Andy who was the senior community manager. He used to run the live streams before he moved to Capcom. But Brian streams on his own, so I'm sure he could definitely figure it out. But I'm looking forward. It's been a while since we had a good old-fashioned dev stream. I'm looking forward to it. Are we getting a Civil War event? We are not. The next hero after Jane Foster is She-Hulk. Yeah, they're still hiring for the community manager. I think they filled the other positions. They hired for a level designer, a system designer, a hero designer, and a enemy designer. And they're still hiring for a senior community manager. So I don't know if we have one. You don't recommend them try different characters unless they release good heroes like Ghost Rider and America Chavez. I disagree. I think America Chavez would actually be really dope in this game. I'm not personally a big fan of the character, but I recognize she'd be pretty nutty in this game depending on what they did with her kit. Will I be streaming on Sunday? I will. We have the Xbox showcase as well. Let's see. We're going to see what L-Box has to say. June Foster, let's get it. So, because it's going to be June Foster, Doom said he's hosting an event. The entire community can participate. Simply enough, it's going to be a race ability. We don't use that language in this chat. It's 2022. We don't use gay to describe things as bad. So if you are the first one to complete a raid with Jane Foster, you win. I don't know exactly what you win, but you win. It's going to be a race. It's going to be a race to finish with the raid with Jane Foster. So if you're feeling up to it, when Jane Foster drops, level her up, get her strong enough to run the raid, and try your luck. See if you can get through it fast. You think there's a slight chance for Captain Marvel this year? Literally, the chances are 0 of Captain Marvel come out this year. Literally 0. There's not a single chance of Captain Marvel come out this year. Not a one. Winter Soldier, very possible. Captain Marvel, nah. You're looking at 2023 for Captain Marvel. Why are y'all arguing about paid characters? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it right now. The characters are free. They're going to be free for the foreseeable future. Everybody chill. I just said that. Winter Soldier is going to be a playable character. He is likely to come out this year. Captain Marvel is not. We need Ultron or Loki. You're good on heroes now. We are getting Ultron. Ultron was a part of Miller's leaks. He is supposed to be the villain that comes with She-Hulk. Looks like her operation is going to feature Ultron, according to Miller's intel. They've been teasing Ultron for a while, and Miller says that looks like they're going to be dropping together. And now that we know the release window and what's coming for 2.5 and 2.6, that looks much more likely. Now that we know what's coming directly after Jane, we can assume now that after Cloning Labs is going to be Ultron and She-Hulk. Hail Hydra. Don't hail Hydra though. they're literally Nazis. Games that have paid characters get characters faster. That's actually not how it works. So what determines how fast a character comes out is basically obviously the ability of the developers, but also how much of a budget they have and how much staff they have working on the products. So live service games that have a large staff, a lot of money to work with, are well managed, they put out stuff pretty fast. And everything, and if say you're like Avengers where you didn't have a lot of money to work with after launch, your staff got dramatically cut down, that's why stuff starts taking a long time. It has nothing to do with whether or not the DLCs are free or not. It's literally a matter of resources. Ultron is a great update in your opinion? Agreed. I am a big fan of Ultron coming to this game. I know he's a robot. I know. More robots. That's fine. That's fine. It's still Ultron. I'm good with it. And money doesn't buy resources. Where do you think the money comes from, Sam? Where do you think the money comes? Where do you think the money comes from? It costs money to create the content. It costs money to have staff to create the content. The money doesn't just magically appear along with all the content and then they release it and then bring in the money from that sale, from those sales, and then start the whole content release cycle. The publisher, if the company has a publisher, funds the project, and the staff, they hire who they have to hire, they get what they have to get. That's how that works. The reason why the heroes have been coming out slower is because Crystal Dynamics has a smaller team. If they want more money to get heroes out faster, that's going to have to come from their publisher, which in this case, once the deal goes through, is going to be Embracer. So if Embracer is going to break them off with enough money to hire more staff so they can do everything faster, that's how that's going to work. Ultron, the best robot. Vision's the best robot. Can't wait to see how Winter Soldier will play. Same. I think Winter Soldier by the end of the year. So I think CD is in the right direction. I think CD is going in the right direction because they have new people working on the game. So the original team that made Avengers clearly didn't have much of a plan. There wasn't much support from Square, from what I know. Square was everything was kind of all over the place. On top of that, you had the pandemic. Everything was all messed up. The current team has some pretty passionate, some pretty talented people. And from what I've heard about Embracer, the Embracer group is really good when it comes to handling game developers. And if you pitch them something and they like it, they will give you the resources that you need to make it happen. Johnny Rocker was telling me about how this is basically what they did with Star Trek Online. They took over the IP, they took over the devs, and was like, okay, what do you need? What content do you have? What content do you want to do? How much would it cost? What do you need? And then they gave it to them, and Star Trek Online is thriving. So best case scenario, that would essentially be Avengers. Do I think Winter Soldier will potentially be a boss fight? I don't. Based on what Miller was talking about, Winter Soldier is going to somehow appear potentially in She-Hulk's DLC, similar to how Kate Bishop and Hawkeye were connected with their DLCs, but I have not heard anything about him actually being a villain. What's up, Devon? You're in the mall? It took a while, but we finally got the blog. So I could finally go into the details a bit. I went through everything already. Basically a little bit more detail, but mostly what we got from the videos posted by Laajune, Jay Shockblast, Bob Duck and Weave, Jane Foster coming late June. The update after her is going to be Cloning Labs. Cloning Labs will have MODOK as the final boss. Jane Foster is going to basically be a hero event like Spider-Man, but a little bit better in that you're not going to have to grind an 18-step mission chain to get her iconic costume. And she's going to have some different abilities from Thor, which sound pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I think Red Tornado is the coolest robot from DC. I like Vision more than Red Tornado. Keep it up. I like Vision and Ultron more than Red Tornado. I like Vision, Ultron, Wally, Iron Giant more than more than Red Tornado. Do I have info that I can't reveal? Maybe. So on the safe side, I'm not going to say anything that's not in this blog or has not been posted online. What's going on with Sam? You spamming? Operation should be $30 in hero event, $17.99. All right, that's Sam's opinion. Okay, that's what Sam thinks. Other people disagree. Cool. End of the conversation. All right, cool. So that's the end of that right there. All right, we know how much Sam thinks they should charge. We know they're not charging. We know people disagree. All right, y'all can move on. This is why you think being separated from Illuminati is a great thing. Oh yeah, I still get the info. I just don't have to sit in the meeting or sign an NDA. I'm Team Miller. I always joke that Jay Shockblast, Laajune and them, they're in the Illuminati with Crystal Dynamics. I'm with Miller in the Court of Owls. So we have a lot more flexibility. We get a lot more info early sometimes. So I'm good where I am. You forgot about Red Tornado? I did too. I was like, oh, Red Tornado, right? DC. Nah, yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not that big of a fan. Court of Owls, not a whisper word is said. Exactly. The Court of Owls, we have more fun in the Court of Owls. In the Court of Owls, we knew MODOK was coming already. We knew MODOK and Cloning Labs were coming already before this announcement. If you've been following the streams and the videos, you already knew MODOK and Cloning Labs were coming in the same update. On the side, you hope update 2.5 will put Marvel's Avengers in the right direction. It sound well. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but obviously people are going to be disappointed at the hero event, but the fact that we know more content is coming right after, not too long after that, is good. Potentially is a good thing. We know we're getting another Omega level threat after Jane Foster. They seem like they've learned from the mistake of the hero event with Spider-Man, so they're not going to make you grind super hard to get that that iconic cosmetic. And it sounds like Jane is very much different from Thor and should be very fun to play and level up. Miller doing his things. Facts. That Kree beacon is probably connected to Captain Marvel. For sure. Is joining progress coming? That is something that we don't know. We know from Miller that they are still working on patrol mode. We know from the devs that the reason patrol mode isn't out is because they wanted to do join in progress first. So if they still intend to put out patrol mode, we can assume that they're going to have join in progress ready, or they think they can get join in progress ready. But so far, looks like patrol mode is still a ways away. I have not watched The Boys yet. I'm definitely going to do that after this, but I'm going to have to edit together a video. They have said that they're not charging for DLCs, but if they are going to do that, it would be if the game went free to play. Miller's like the Kevin Feige at Marvel's Avengers. Don't insult Miller like that. Remember when people said Jane would be exactly the same as Thor with nothing new to her? I do remember certain people who went out, who put themselves all the way out there in 4K to say this thing that they had literally no knowledge of. They were same people that were saying Jane Foster wasn't even going to be a thing. Miller didn't know what he was talking about. They were saying he was making it all up. Then when Jane Foster is officially revealed, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, sure, Miller was right about that, but she's just going to be an echo. She's going to be the exact same. And now we know, oh, that's not true either. So lesson is always ignore the haters. They don't know what they're talking about. Put your trust in Miller. He will not lead you astray. The man knows what he's talking about. I think my current prediction is still, now that we have some more information, more clarity, I'm thinking this is the Sadot the Gamer roadmap. this is the Crystal Dynamics roadmap, because that doesn't exist anymore. This is the Sadot the Gamer roadmap for 2022. You ready? All right, so the Sadot the Gamer roadmap 2022. So late June is going to be Jane Foster. Late July, Cloning Labs. Late August, She-Hulk. December, Winter Soldier and Patrol Mode. That is the Sadot the Gamer roadmap. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Patrol Mode drops Winter Soldier at the end of the year. And it's going to drop with Join in Progress. That's the Sadot the Gamer Avengers 2022 roadmap. How high do you think the power level will be? Well, they have not said that they're going to raise the power level cap, so still going to be the same. You're just going to have to be 175 if you want to play Cloning Labs. First guy event, the rewards don't level up much. I have to see for myself. I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna do a Avenger stream where we start leveling up. You lost me on December, but you You don't want to wait till December? I'm being very optimistic here. That's a dream, bro. The only dream is patrol mode. We already know they're working on Winter Soldier. We already know Winter Soldier has a lot of the work done. I think Winter Soldier, and based on Miller's intel, She-Hulk is already done. So basically, if She-Hulk's already done, we're basically expecting them to have at least one hero out by the end of the year, which I think is reasonable. But we know from Miller that they're also still working on patrol mode. That's why I'm putting Winter Soldier and patrol mode together. Is Cloning Labs and MODOK in the same mission? Yes, MODOK is the final boss in Cloning Labs. Why give us a stronger OLT? Because they just gave us 2.4, which makes everybody stronger. It doesn't make sense if they just dropped an update where everybody can make it to 175 solo without doing anything challenging, and then drop OLT that's power level 150 or something. You know, that wouldn't make any sense at all. So that's why, to account for what's going to be a higher average power level player base, they're going to make it so that if you want to play the OLT, you got to be 175 for Cloning Labs, which I think is a good thing. When power leveling was tied to the OLT in a raid, and that's the only way, that I can understand. You know, everybody can't grind, plus the OLT and the raid can be really buggy, especially the raid. That makes sense. But now that you can get to 175 just by playing events, makes perfect sense to me. We want a bit of a challenge with the Cloning Labs. If you're bringing it back, make it so that you got to be 175. I'm fine with that. So once Cloning Labs comes out, if you're 175, you'll be able to play it. If not, just start leveling up now. 175 just did with MODOK. BS, why not? Yeah, like if you're an in-game player, like if you're already an in-game player that was playing the raid, then you already got some characters at 175. I have my Thor at 175. I have a Hawkeye at 175. I've got a Kamala at 173. I've got Iron Man at 174. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty much good here. I think Spider-Man is at 167, 168. So not going to be a problem if you were, you know, struggling before. Everything should be much easier now with patch 2.4. I'm guessing the next time they raise the power level cap, based on history, is probably going to be when they have an actual expansion, something worth raising the power level cap for. So yeah, I can definitely see a power level cap raise with the Kree expansion, but wouldn't make sense to do it now. That's why they didn't announce it. Maybe they should make it 185 since people have been 175 6 months already. Yeah, plus another 10. No matter. Like we still don't know all the details. Like, well, we know they haven't announced there's going to be elite version, so I'm guessing it's going to be locked at 175. But I know for the elite raid, you had the elite version. You had the elite version and the normal version, but it looks like it's just going to be the OLT for MODOK, and it's going to be 175, which is also fine. They want to see the average player base is a lot low power level than you think. Like it's very easy to be, it's very easy to not understand if you've never looked at the numbers to see the percentage that players have completed different things. and you're mainly just talking to in-game players, or you're in chats like mine, and other in-game players, you might think the average player is a lot more advanced than they are, but they're not. You and the really try hard in-game players, they might have been having their 175s since November, around that time. Well, it's taking longer than that. It would take longer than that unless you did the cheese. But most people who play this game do not have 175s by far. Most people don't have 150 characters across all their roster. So yeah, it definitely makes sense to have 175 for the OLT with MODOK, because it sets a bar that is achievable. Because before, there was the excuse of, well, I can't get to 175 because I don't have online access. I can't find people for the raid, or the raid and the OLT are buggy. I can't find people. I can't complete it. Now that you can do everything solo and just doing events, the path to 175 is pretty easy. So, and on top of that, the way they have it set up, you're going to get really good gear along the way when you do that solo path to 175. So it perfectly makes sense to be like, all right, well, we got a new exotic set with this OLT, and you got to be 175 to participate. About to have Thor to 160. Nice. Keep grinding. Wonder if Cloning Labs gear sets will be exclusive in the mode only, if gear sets are planned. So I don't think they're going to do what they did with the Discordant gear. We learned from the blog that Cloning Labs will have its own set of gear, so you're going to have to do Cloning Labs to get it. They have not announced any new events yet. The events so far that are recycling are the same ones we played before. We know exactly what sets they're dropping. So it looks like if you want that Cloning Lab gear, you're going to have to play Cloning Lab. You got all 175, just help people with the raid now. That's good. Giving back the community. Who on PlayStation? I think most of the chat is a PlayStation. Is Thor using Stormbreaker? Still using Mjolnir. Your lowest is Kamala at 154. Batter pieces from the new event should be 160. Yeah, I think now my lowest are Black Panther and Kate for like 160, 161. Is that superior gear going to reset? Event going to reset? All the events. So the way all the events work is that every 2 weeks they end. So while they're going, you have essentially 2 weeks to complete all of the mission chains. And once all the mission chains are gone, you're still going to have the dailies once they work. But in terms of the superior exotics, once the mission chains for the superior exotics are done, that's it. You're done. They're over. And then the event will reset, will end. And then when it's time for the next event to roll in, that event will start, and it's going to cycle. So if you missed one event, you're going to have to wait about, I think, 10 weeks for it to come back around. Is anyone having a problem matchmaking? A lot of people are. that was another problem 2-3, especially if you're on a PC. But that's a population problem rather than a bug. But there was a bug with matchmaking that was reported in 2.4 that is affecting some people. Which only gives one piece above your current piece. Others cap at 151. Are you sure about that? Because that's not how it's supposed to work. So I haven't played through the event yet, so I'm gonna make sure that everything works. But from looking at the mission chain, all those mission chains except the dailies are supposed to give you superior exotics. All right, Vision. I guess I could do Black Widow right now. Here it up. Let's switch over real quick. So I'm going to create a backup save for my PS5. 24-bit slam, appreciate that sub. Want to be right, gang? Hopefully, Crossbones gets a villain sector. I don't think that's happening. I think they're going to move on from Crossbones, as they should. MODOK is fine, makes sense. That works because they're pairing him with cloning labs. So it's good that the first things we were expecting early in the game were people were like, hey, why can't we fight MODOK again? And hey, where's cloning labs? So they are combining the two, which is good. Now we want new villains. That's what we want now. We want new villains now. Did expect news this morning. This is great. Indeed. All right, so I'm almost done this one mission chain for Black Widow, so I can test it right now. What do I have to do? I have to get less than 100 chips and have to defeat 5 enemies with the power surge. All right, let's do that. And let's see what this event looking like.
We've had word that AIM has sent bounty hunters into urban areas to search for Inhumans. Some have been sent to Jersey City. I will scan the area for AIM signatures and update your HUD. Be on your guard.
They're saying Black Widow gave you... So Black Widow gave you 2 pieces above. Captain Thor gave you... So my question is, so all your characters are definitely over the cap, right? That you need. So all of your heroes are above 120, right?
Caught in a standoff up ahead. Backup has arrived. Protect those Inhumans.
You're on a new account. You just got your call to 50 champion level. Nice. There we go. Thor is too strong of a character. Oh yeah, especially with all the cheese. Alright, so somehow still got 2 enemies left to kill. So let's just reload the checkpoint.
There are Inhumans caught in a standoff up ahead.
Insomniac Spider-Man's coming to PC.
Backup has arrived.
Will Spider-Man come to PC? It will not. Are we getting more MCU outfits? Of course. MCU outfits make them a lot of money. We just got a new MCU outfit this week, actually. And Brian confirmed that they're also going to be doing more same-day releases. Now, it was unusual that they had the outfit for Miss Marvel the same day as the show. Brian said that's something they're going to do more of going forward. So expect more MCU synergy. Are they really going to fix Traversal in 2.5? That's what Brian said. They actually found the fix for it, and they've just been testing it. So now I just gotta collect the chips. So hopefully, if there's no setbacks, no delays, all you people with the broken traversal should be good to go. If you're enjoying the glitch for some reason, it should be going by 2.5. You want Thanos as a playable hero? Does anyone know if there's any way you can get the 1-year anniversary nameplate? You cannot. But you can ask Crystal Dynamics to recycle it. Maybe they'll bring it back for the next anniversary, which will be in September. That seems the most likely. They brought back the other nameplates and events, so it would make sense that it makes sense that they would give a new one for the anniversary, but they might also give the old one as well. Who goes on in the Hive? Newer players, but also Brian confirmed that the traversal glitch is not specifically tied to the Mega Hive. So not everyone that has the traversal bug went down when doing the Hive. Imagine if Yelena was the one releasing. Oh, that would be bad. I'd be like, I would not be as excited. I'm not gonna hold you. It would be bad on a lot of levels because it's like there's no reason for it. They wouldn't be getting any MCU synergy, no cross promotion or nothing. On top of being a non-flyer and a likely Black Widow clone. It was I'm so glad it's not Yelena. It is a very good thing that Yelena is not the hero. You probably missed it. Did you receive details on release date? Late June. They did not give a specific date. I hope the whole thing is fixed. I hope the traversal thing is fixed once and for all in 2.5 and nothing else breaks. You want Sentry's power? You want Sentry? That's what Doom wants. Doom wants Sentry. I want magic. I want some magic. Magic herself too could be cool too, but I want Strange. I want Wanda. Sentry is just so OP, and it'd be weird to see how they implement them because it's kind of boring, kit wise, and you want to make sure that he feels sufficiently powerful. I don't know about Sentry. Sentry villain sector. Thor's OP too. Yeah, but not really though. Like they're not doing Rune King Thor. They're doing standard Thor. He shoots lightning, he throws his hammer. Sentry has a long list of BS powers. Some of which they couldn't even implement in the game. Like his super speed. How many steps are in Spider-Man? If you're talking about the mission chain to unlock his iconic suit, you're gonna be there a while, my friend. It's about 19 steps. What about War Machine? What about him? Devs are aware people are wanting Wanda Strange. Yes, they are very much aware. I don't know if that is going to translate into actually us getting either of them, but here's hoping. My parents sent you even gladiator all copies of Superman. Hawk has a long list of power. He has power, especially in new comic. He has gamma lasers and nukes. He's became Thor. Yeah, but they're not doing it. As I said, when I explained that this is standard Thor, not Rune King Thor or anything like that. They're doing the standard incarnations of these heroes and building their kits accordingly. So Hawk, as a standard kit, is a very strong rage monster who is powered by his rage and basically just has super strength and healing. You know, that's a simple kit that you can build around. Thor flies, shoots lightning, has a hammer that's kind of sentient that he can call, and if you're not worthy, you can't lift it. Simple to build around. This is what Alex was describing with kind of his philosophy and approach when he looks at potential new heroes. All right, we did the mission chain for Widow. So let's see what we got. So we got a 155 piece. For the rain slot, we can increase our Tachyon's raise. And we got a 152 for the melee. I say that's a pretty good haul. So event seems to be working. at least for a Widow. Got a nice little upgrade from her individual mission chain. A +5 and a +2. So next time I do Avengers, I'll go through the rest of the characters, and we will run through this event, level up our heroes. Should be a lot of fun. All right, so I'm going to edit this and do a shortened version, breaking down the Jane Foster update and on everything we learned about patch 2.5 and patch 2.6 today. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. This was a surprisingly productive day for Avengers. I'm looking forward to the update. We'll stay tuned in the coming weeks as they promote Jane Foster and everything like that. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out.